All right, guys, we're gonna start in about a minute or so. Thank you for joining me this morning to learn how to use Facebook Live. So we're gonna start in about a minute. Again, my name is Ed Taguba. I'll be doing the training this morning. All right, very good. So during the training, if you have any questions before we get started, couple house rules here. If you have any questions, we have a chat box. If you don't know where the chat box is, it's at the bottom, right? Click on the chat box, ask any questions. Robert Law will go ahead and read those questions out loud for me. And then I'll see if I can answer those questions for you, okay? So again, during the training, feel free to ask some questions. The chat button is at the bottom of your screen. Click on that, ask your questions. Everyone should be on mute only mode. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. All right, so we're gonna get started shortly here. Again, my name is Ed Taguba. I'll be doing the Facebook Live session for today and how you can use it for your open house and virtual open house and showings. All right, here we go. Again, let's see here. And yes, the recording will be available on YouTube. Our YouTube channel will be High Central MLS. So if you search High Central MLS on our YouTube, you'll find our channel there. And then we're also on social media as well, okay? All right, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna go ahead and start my screen sharing. Give me 1 second here. All right, here we go. All right, okay, so today I'm going to cover virtual open houses and virtual showings using Facebook Live. I know a lot of you folks been using Facebook and you don't know that they have this live feature, so it's really cool. I like it. I've used it myself and it's a fun tool to use. All right, so here we go. Okay, so what we'll be covering today, we'll cover the environmental section and definitions of the virtual. We'll talk about how to schedule Facebook Live. We'll get into inputting that information into Matrix and how you can display that on Facebook as well, okay? And then we're gonna go live with Facebook. We're not technically going live. I'm just gonna show you how to do it. And then, you know, you can see how you can go there. And then of course, we'll talk about best practices. Okay, so we're gonna get into the layman terms of virtual open houses and virtual showings. Some of you folks may or may not know this information and just try to understand the basics, right? So virtual open houses, okay? So virtual open houses, we have, of course, the broker open house and the public open house. It's almost similar to the real live, you know, when you do showings for opens, but this time, all you're doing is using your cell phone or your tablet to do these virtual open houses. And it's in real time, so if anybody have any questions throughout the virtual opens, they can ask the questions on the spot, okay? Virtual showings, okay. Virtual showings is similar to the broker's open. Again, it's in real time. You can schedule the showing with your clients and it's live streaming. Okay, similar to the virtual open houses. But again, virtual showing is just a private one-on-one instead of having a lot of people attending. Okay. Virtual tour. Okay, virtual tour is a little bit different. You know, many of us, you know, seen virtual tours is basically a pre-recorded video. So 365 video it could be, or pictures. It's like a tour within the property. You know, a lot of times we want to display the property, we use the virtual tours, and it's basically your selling moment of the property and not being at the property. And then the last term here is called external link URL. I believe you've seen this section in Matrix in your input and you're asking yourself, what is an external URL? So basically it's an external web page that displays specific property information. It could be branded or unbranded. Now this in an external link section in Matrix is basically for agents to view. and public won't be able to see that. Okay, so external links, that's in matrix under the input section. All right. So these are the common terms, just basic to kind of get the understanding of virtual opens, showings, tours, and external links. Now, at any time you have any questions, folks, please feel free to ask. The question box is at the bottom of your screen, and then we can go ahead and answer those questions for you. All right, so why? Why virtual and why now? Okay, we have ran some statistics, okay? So listings with virtual tours have at least 40% or higher click rate, meaning that people like to see video tours, right? Virtual tours. Here we have 65% more email inquiries and 95% more calls received from virtual tours, right? So the numbers increase from time over time. And because of what's going on, of course, the number is gonna go higher, right? So that's the information. And resulting about 49% qualified leads to your properties and whatnot. And of course, we need to keep in mind that compliance with the governor's and mayor's stay-at-home orders still applies. Yeah, so sorry about that. Okay, so you need to make sure you follow the guidelines and make sure that you follow through. All right, so next here, technologies. So the two technologies we basically want to recommend, it's not limited to these two, but these are the two recommended that MLS really strong behind with these products. It's Zoom, everybody's Zooming nowadays, right? And of course, Facebook Live. Okay, Facebook Live, it's a great tool. Everybody has Facebook, social media, so that's what we kind of lean towards. Again, this should not restrict you or not limited to any other tools out there. They also have FaceTime, Google Duo, Hangouts, Skype. Skype was the thing back then. But it's not limited. So there's other tools out there you could use, that's fine. But these are the two, Zoom and Facebook Live is what we recommend, okay? And I know some of you folks already have these apps already installed on your phone or tablet, right? So, all right. So now we're gonna get into setting up your Facebook Live event. If we have a Facebook, let's see, business page, you can set up your live events in Facebook, okay? So that's what I'm gonna talk you through, how to set up a live event. Maybe you have Brokers Open that's coming up in the future, Sundays, Sunday Public, coming up in the future. So you can program all your live events, and I'm gonna show you how you get your landing page to that Facebook, okay? All right, so first things first, after logging into your Facebook, right, your business section or business page, there is a button here that says Create Live, okay? So when you click on that live button, you're gonna see the next part is scheduling your event. So it's not only, you can schedule your live event, your brokers, or Sunday. So any event that you have, it's not limited to just Brokers Open or Sunday Opens, right? So you go in, you schedule your live video, you put your date and time when the event's gonna be, and then right below that, oops, let me go back here. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. All right, so you need to make sure you can add a description. And this example here, I put live showing for the property address, 1136 12th Avenue, right? So that's an example, and you can add a little description if you want. It's not required, but it's nice to have, okay? Okay, and then at the very bottom, there's a button called Schedule Live Video. Once you press that button, you'll get a confirmation screen. Says success, a confirmation will come up. Now you'll paste the URL that you received from Facebook. So I'm gonna show you how to do that in a few minutes here, okay? Oops, let me see here. Okay, so if you wanna display all of your upcoming events or videos, you go into the live button and then click on upcoming live videos. And then you'll get a list of all of your upcoming live videos, okay? You could go live using your desktop or laptop, or on the mobile. I'm going to show you how to do live on the mobile in a few minutes here. But when you click on upcoming live videos, you'll see a whole list of your showings that's coming up, okay? All right. All right, and you're asking yourself, okay, so how do I obtain that landing page or website address? I know it might gonna sound confusing, but it's pretty simple to get that, okay? So you need to be on your desktop, laptop, okay? Log into Facebook, and if you notice in the top right corner, you'll see your name or your picture. You click on that, and then when you click on it, look at the website address, right? Going to be facebook.com/your username. Whatever username you created when you first created your Facebook will be shown there. So for example, mine is edward.taguba.374, right? That's my username. So anytime you want to copy and paste the URL to share it with your clients, this is the personal Facebook Live landing page. You put www.facebook.com/username, which is mine is edward.taguba.374/live. And in a few minutes, I'm going to show you folks how to put that information in your maybe Brokers Open or Open House section. Okay. All right. Now we're getting into the scheduling virtual open houses in Matrix. We turned on that feature. If you guys notice, if you guys been scheduling it, you'll notice a section there to put in the URL for your open, okay? And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask that in the bottom. Okay, so here you log into highcentralmls.com, into Matrix. Once you get into Matrix, you're gonna click on the input button on the top, right? That's where you wanna edit your listing. And you have the quick modify. Quick modify, you select your listing on the drop-down menu, and then it take you to the next screen, which is managing your listing, right? You see here, we'll click on manage open houses. You notice that here it says manage open houses. So you're gonna click on that, and it takes you to the next screen where you schedule your open. It could be a virtual public or virtual broker. So depending what type of open house you want to schedule, you select from the drop-down menu. There's a date, you put in a date, and of course the time. Okay, your time is not limited, time is not limited to the 2 to 5. Again, you can schedule your open at any time during the week. Sundays, it's normally 2 to 5, so if you want to do it that way, that's fine. Now, you notice here, at the bottom, it says virtual open houses URL, okay? So if you are using the Facebook Live and you get that URL, you paste it down at the bottom, right? Virtual open houses URL. Okay, so that's where you share that link. Okay. Again, this is an example. You put in the facebook.com/username/live, you're good to go. Hit submit listing, you're all set, okay? So a couple things you wanna keep in mind, deadlines here, right? So printable PDF format is still available. Deadlines are entered into Matrix before noon on Fridays. So if you put it in today before 12 o'clock, it will be printed on your PDF file there. Then it will be updated on High Central, okay? So please make sure to do that, enter it in. But again, it's not limited. It's just not going to be printed on the PDF if you miss it, all right? And then clients can visit highcentral.com to search for open house information. Okay, so a lot of you folks wondering how the virtual open houses are displayed. There's a couple websites. There's, of course, highcentral.com. So when people search open houses, they click on open houses, and then they can search open houses. Now, the information will be here at the bottom right corner. It says open houses. And if they click on it, it takes them to the property page, and you'll have a link that you pasted that they can click on for the virtual open, okay? So Zillow also have them when you look at that information on the right-hand side there, it's gonna say virtual open houses, time and date when it's gonna be available. And again, so other clients or people can search for open houses, and again, the link will be available for them to click on. Realtor.com. Realtor.com will display your open house information. There's going to be a button there, if you notice on the screen here, it says join. So when it's available, you click on the join button, and that will take them to your live session for Instagram or Facebook. Okay.
Hey, Ed, can I jump in there for a sec?
Yes, sure.
So Realtor.com right now is not going to provide those Facebook Live links. So they're not picking up and displaying the Facebook Live. So we're working with them on that. We've had some high-level discussions with them back and forth, but we haven't been able to convince them of the errors of their ways there. So I would focus your attention on Zillow.com, and which will display the links at the time, as Ed was talking about, or highcentral.com.
Okay, thank you, Michael. All right, couple things here. So we'll get into the key points of virtual open houses here. Virtual open houses can be found like traditional means, but again, it's basically virtual, right? Consider walking clients through the virtual tour, like a 360 dollhouse type, show them everything and anything you want. Also get your client's permission before holding a virtual open house, right? So most times we do that ahead of time, get their permission, get okay, it's all good, okay? Things to consider, consult with your broker and review your company policies. It's always important to consult with your broker and review company policies and how things run. Follow all practices as you would in in-person open houses, right? Make sure to adhere with the code of ethics, respect, and everything else. Okay? And then limited to a number of people, if you're doing property only for those necessary, right? And then also abide by the CDC guidelines, okay? So that's if you're after doing the virtual open, make sure you clean the property up and things like that. Okay, so those are the key points. All right, we're gonna get into setting your listings for virtual showings and matrix and showing time. All right, any questions, again, feel free to ask them in the question box, okay? Again, so this time I'm gonna log into matrix, right? Same thing, get into your input, click on input on the top, select your listing from the drop-down menu. And then this time we'll click on selecting the form, which is, in this example, is single family. So depending on what property type you're modifying, could be condo townhouse, it could be multifamily. All right, so depending which property that you're working on, it's gonna say the form that you're gonna click on. All right, so this example is single family. I'll click on that, and then we'll get into features. Right, so I'm gonna go to features there. And at number 27 under showings, right, we're gonna check off virtual showing. Submit listing, and then you can also use the agent remarks to highlight the virtual showings and direct them to showing time as well. Okay. All right, so the next thing here that you wanna do is schedule the virtual showing instructions in showing time. Okay, so there's two ways you can schedule, to set it up. One is when you're on the landing page, when you log into Matrix, there is a showing time icon on your screen. You can click on that. Or if you're in Matrix, right, under external links, we have, it's called showing time. Oops. showing time. Right over here, you click on that. That takes you into the showing time module. You notice here. And then you're gonna click on listing setup on the left side. Okay. So when you do that, it's gonna pop up your listing information. All you do is click on that and then add your additional instructions in the box and then save changes, okay? All right, so virtual showings, key points on virtual showing is almost similar to the open house. Discuss virtual showing with your clients first before putting it on, right? Consult with your broker. Again, broker need to double check to view policies and stuff before showings, right? Follow the showing guidelines, it's like what you're doing for in-person, right? Adhere with the code of ethics. And then any specific showing instructions that you want to provide for other agents. Limit the number of people at the property, okay, for only those necessary. And also, again, follow the CDC guidelines. All right, we're gonna get into the good stuff here. Going live with Facebook. So anytime you do live events, make sure when you hit the live button, it takes a few seconds depending on your internet connection. Make sure that you have good signal on your mobile device. All right, so when you log into Facebook, all you're gonna do is hit that live button. You'll see it anytime you create a post. You'll see the button. Sometimes we miss it, but it's right next to it. So if you're ready to create a post, or maybe you're posting a comment, you notice there's a button there's called live. When you click on live button, there's gonna be a screen that pops up like this. You can add your description, okay, maybe the address of the property, right? And then click on the start live video. So when you do that, you're live, okay? So, oops. When you click on start live, boom, your video comes up on the top right corner. It's gonna say live. And on there you have your tools, right? You can chat with people on there. If they have any questions, they can chat on there. You can flip your camera around to face you instead of the property. That's what the little camera icon with the switch, okay? You can see who chats, who comes up. People can also, do emojis in there as well. Maybe the heart emoji saying they really like it, right? All right, so, and of course the flash is basically if you're in a dark area in the house, make sure you can turn on the camera flash in the back and you can show the property. But once you're live on there, you can see, people, when people come in, you'll see number next to the live on the top right corner. You're gonna see a number of people who's attending your live open or live showing, right? Now, when you're done with the whole event, you can click stop call at the bottom right corner. It says finish, and you're done, right? So you could technically save it. Oops, let me go back. Once you're done with the event, you can save it. It's gonna ask you to save, delete, or share. Most times, a lot of the times, or most of the times, agents like to share what had been pre-recorded or actually during the live event. So people that missed it, you have 24 hours to view the live event. It's gonna be shown on Facebook. So again, there's 3 options. You can either save it, delete it, or share, okay? You'll see it once you hit the finish button here at the bottom right. Okay, best practices, right? Oops, my best practices I'm missing. So a couple things, let me see here. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so we're gonna get into best practices before we get to that video. All right, so a couple things, right? Best practices, prepare a script, make sure you kind of prepare yourself in a sense. You don't want to get there and you'll be stuck and figuring what you want to say, right? Sometimes we'll get brain farts, right? So you want to make sure we'll be prepared for these things, right? So like do a dry run and maybe have someone to follow with you on the whole situation. Okay. Lighting, of course, lighting. Anytime you do video, anytime you do pictures, lighting is the important key. Make sure you have enough good lighting so people can actually see and not too dark. You don't want that, right? So make sure if they have blinds or if they have curtains, make sure to have it wide open so people can actually see in there. If there's electricity, turn on the power, right? Lighting is always important. That's the key thing. Right? If you have good equipment, right? I'm not saying it's required. It's basically optional, right? So if you have lavalier, headphones, that would be nice. The headphones is good because people can actually hear you. There's headphones that come with your phone. You can use those. Okay, you don't have to buy an expensive equipment, but if you do have those equipments, feel free to use them. Right, better advantage for you. Okay? Ensure you have good signals. Right, a lot of times we'll be using our mobile device, so we have 4G technology. I believe some phones now have 5G technologies. So have good signals. You know, there's some areas that may be spotty, but make sure, again, that's where number one comes into place. Prepare yourself. Make sure you do dry runs and make sure you have all that stuff before you do your virtuals, right? Work with a partner. Again, if you have someone that working with you, maybe holding the video camera for you, and whatnot, make sure you practice that social distancing, right? So anytime you're working with people, make sure you wear your mask, make sure you're protective, and then everybody's, you know, it's a win-win situation. Like this one is very important because I've attended virtual showings, and if you don't keep your phone clean and your camera clean, it's gonna look like, you know, it's hazy. Right. Anytime you're showing something, even when you're taking pictures, make sure you clean the back of your camera. We don't think about these things, but you have to, especially with the camera phones. And you know, folks, in back of your camera, the camera, just clean it. You can just use regular Kleenex, clean it up. Boom. It's not that difficult. You don't need to get special cleaner or anything, right? So make sure you clean it up. So, you know, our fingers are always on their phone, so we can get fingerprints on there. Make sure to keep it clean. Just wipe it down before you start your video. Okay. All right, and then keep in mind, if you're using your mobile device, put it on this do not disturb, right? Because you don't want to do a showing and then you get a phone call. You're gonna be, oh my God, right? So you know, you want to make sure you put yourself do not disturb. There you go. You know, I had a question before, an agent saying, oh, can I put my phone on airplane mode? No, you cannot do it on airplane mode, okay? Because then you cut yourself from the internet and you don't have no signal, all right? So make sure, just do not disturb, you're good to go. Or maybe make sure you turn off all those other alerts that you have on your device while just doing your showings, okay? Make sure you maintain the confidentiality with the visitors that's coming in through, right? So if they have any questions about, you know, what you want to offer or whatnot, again, keep that between you and the clients. Yeah. All right, so make sure to determine if the visitor that is working with another realtor before offering services, right? That's like most common questions. Right? Try to show the scale of the property. You know, it's the ceiling, how high the ceiling, right? When you go through the room, you know, you can explain the room. I know we can see it via video, but sometimes when we explain the room better, you kind of get the picture, right? So we get the picture. If you explain a little bit, then we get more of the feel of the showing, right? So it's basically you're doing the selling of the property, and you want to do the best as you can, right? Even though during this virtual opens or showings. Another important key thing here, right? Batteries. How many times we go through our day, right? And we're running like 5% battery. Oh my God, right? So make sure to charge your phone before you go to the showing or, you know, to the property. Make sure to bring extra batteries with you. The batteries you just plug in, no problemo, right? I know that's one thing. You don't want to do a showing and then your phone dies. You know, that's like, no, right? I'm going to do that. Okay. And then again, don't be afraid to take your clients to the whole virtual tour. I mean, just do it. I mean, go through the whole thing, show them underneath the cabinets, open if there's curtains in the tub area, open it up, show them the tub area, right? So do as much selling as you can with the property, right? You want to show them as much as possible because, you know, you want to be there, but you can't be there, right? So you want to be there for them. And that's what you're doing the video, the showing, right? So try to do it as much as possible and as good as possible. Okay. All right. So we're going to get into the video part. Let me see.
Okay. Wait, Ed, we have a couple questions.
Yes.
Before we go to switch to the videos.
Yes.
Can you schedule a live video from the phone?
Live video from the home.
No, from the phone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, no. The scheduling live open houses is only done within the website. When you hit the live button on your mobile device, you're going live, right? So if you want to schedule future events, you have to do that on the computer, unfortunately. That's the way how Facebook is designed. So make sure that you schedule beforehand. Once you have the live button on the mobile device, you're going live. There's no way to schedule. Now, if you want to schedule, maybe if you use a web browser based, you know, using the web base instead of the mobile app, most likely you could schedule something there. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, the second question is the privacy setting, whether being public or private.
Okay, so the live is always going to be public. Okay, the videos is always going to be public. So no matter if your Facebook is on private mode, the live events is always going to be live, right? It's always going to be public. So if you put the URL facebook.com/username/live, that will take you to your maybe past videos, but also if you do your live event, it's going to be there during that time only. So once your live videos or when your live feed is done, it's no longer going to be there unless you share it on your social media. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, that's good.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're going to show you a video. I'm going to move over to Michael's computer really quick, and then we're going to watch this 5-minute video.
We are bringing you a how-to video to set up your virtual open house tours. Step 1, decide which platform works best for you, whether it's Instagram Live or Facebook Live or Zoom. Step 2, do a dress rehearsal. Familiarize yourself with the app you're using or the platform to make sure you know the ins and outs and all the details. Step 3, make sure you're advertising on all of your social media platforms. You're really reaching out to everybody that you know so you get as much traffic and as many eyes as possible during your virtual open house tour. Step 4, do a dry run. Practice walking through the home and talking about the special features and unique attributes the home offers. Step 5, make sure you have good cell reception at the actual open house. It's gonna be important that you're not glitchy or choppy, so make sure you also practice with your cell reception going live and also seeing how well it works.
Number 1, just like hosting a regular open, get there early. I actually get there extra early. Of course, access the property with proper PPEs. I use the additional time to make sure anything I'm going to touch, I properly take care of it both before and after. And then of course, prepare it just like we were hosting a regular open house. Once you are live, be yourself. Try to, obviously introduce yourself, introduce your company. If you're sitting for a different agent, make sure to properly reference them and their company as well. Thank people for coming, make them feel welcome. When the virtual starts, people slowly log in, so try to give a little bit of bandwidth for time to people do that, but then it stays live after as well, or you can view it after the live event is as well, so don't be too disheartened if there's only a few people there, just keep going. Once you say hello, encourage them to ask questions, give feedback. The number one thing about this, it's all about the house, it's not about us. So, you know, we will be in part of it, but For the main part, it's all about showing the house and the house features. So already have your route planned, obviously, your talking points, just as if we have somebody physically there. I think that part will be easy for us as long as we're ready to do that with camera in hand. But again, make it about the house.
So lighting, that's very important when recording a video to do a virtual showing. What I would recommend is showing up early like Brett had said, and take a tour of the home. Then when you're ready, make sure that you have the main lighting in the front of you and not behind you. If you do need more lighting, just add a lamp. That could help as well. Make sure you're looking at the screen whenever you're talking. Make sure there's no background noise and that everything is being pronounced clearly for your video.
Another part that's really important about open houses is dress the part. We're not doing a Zoom meeting where we can keep the camera off. Make sure you're looking good. I better go get dressed. Ready. All right. So the other thing that would be really important is to have a microphone, because sometimes when you're in certain spaces, there's a lot of echo and people can't hear you if you're talking from across the room. Make sure you're having a good time. Be enthusiastic. Have lots of energy. People can't see you face to face, so they won't be able to exchange the energy like we normally do. So have lots of fun on camera and engage your audience. And last thing I would say is talk about the neighborhood. Let us know what's great in your area and why we'd want to buy the house.
When taking a photo or a video with your phone, it's important to remember to hold it horizontally as opposed to vertically. This allows you to get more of the landscape or the home that you are showcasing into the shot of the camera. If you have a friend, family member, or colleague that's able to help you take your virtual open house video within the social distancing rules, it's nice to have them so you can talk directly to the camera while you're showing the home. To ensure smooth transitions, it's good to utilize the front camera on your phone as well as the back camera. So you can start a video, introduce yourself or the home that you're showing, and then you can switch the camera shot to the front camera so you can see what's in front of you. If you have friends or family that are available during your virtual open house, invite them to pop in and ask questions. You may even give them certain questions to ask to keep the flow of the meeting going.
Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, but I have 3 tips to share. Number 1, put some nice music on and create a nice atmosphere. Also, make sure the video is long enough so that people have the ability to join and be part of the virtual tour. And lastly, keep it simple and be yourself. Aloha.
All right, thank you. Ain't that exciting? Man, I'm just pumped up here. Okay, so let me get back into my presentation here. All right, so a couple things here. Let me get through here. All right, so a couple things. We want to ask some questions here. I know we did a little video. We're going to have those videos available for you folks. It's going to be on our YouTube channel. Okay, it's going to be High Central MLS. You can search for High Central MLS, and you can add us. Make sure to like us there on YouTube. Couple things to keep in mind. We're going to have a contest. This week's prize would be a $100 Amazon gift card. So we want to encourage all of you folks to enter your open house information into Matrix. That would be nice. If you have any questions, feel free to call our tech support line. You can even call Michael, Robert, or email Alex, or myself. You can email me or call. And we'll be able to assist you with any of the questions that you might have with regards to Zoom or Facebook Live. If it's new to you, try it out, practice, and play around with it. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions that you folks have for me?
Yeah, one question.
Mm-hmm.
On what if you have a virtual 3D tour and you want to go live with that?
Virtual 3D tour. Well, if you want to go live with that, if you're on the computer, you can do that. If you do it live on there, you can play it like how we did this video before this. You can do that. When you run the video while you're behind a computer, you can do it that way. That's fine. But it's best, you know, when we do live events, it's best to be at the property and actually walk through the properties. You know, recorded ones is okay, but it's suggested when you're doing any live events, that's better because you have any questions, you can show them the property firsthand, and any other questions that you might have with your client or people that's attending the event. Any other questions? Now, our video, again, is going to be published on our YouTube channel, High Central MLS. Follow us and also on Instagram, Facebook. We're also on Twitter, right? So High Central MLS, search for us, like us, follow us. And if you have any questions on social, you can always ask questions. We'll be able to answer those questions for you, or email us again at techsupport@highcentralmls.com.
Okay, one last question. Sorry.
Yeah, last question. All right.
Okay, so if Facebook is always public, how do you do a dry run to practice?
Oh, that's a good question. Anytime you do a live event, I mean, people's not gonna know that you're doing a live, you know, a dry run unless they have the notifications on their Facebook. Okay, so again, anytime you run a live event, Facebook will actually notify your followers that you're going live. So, I mean, there's no other way to do it. You can do a live event, or actually, excuse me, you can do a dry run by just doing a regular recording on your cell phone, okay? So you don't need to technically hit the live button on Facebook. You can actually do a dry run by using your camera on your cell phone and do it that way. And that way you can always play back the video recording and you can see what maybe you could fix or what you can maybe tweak on when you do your live event, right? So if you do the recording on your phone, it's easier that way. You don't have to go live. That's a good dry run. I would do it that way. Any other questions? Oh, you guys might be excited. So again, feel free to give us a call. Make sure to enter your open house information in Matrix, get more exposure that way. As for showings, you can make sure, you know, if you have your family, friends, or other clients, they can, you know, text the links out for you folks, do it that way, okay? So again, I'm gonna end my presentation here. If you don't have any other questions, thank you for joining me today. Hopefully we'll get more of these for you folks available and be here for you folks, okay? So you guys have a good day, stay safe, and aloha.